Taking my time, taking all of your time, taking all of your time. I've been taking my time, I've been taking my time. Taking all of your time, taking all of your time. I've been talking about it for a while. Before we take a chance and do it, before we looking back as foolish. I've been talking about it for a while. Before we take a chance and do it, before we looking back as foolish. We got me floating, and I can take it. You got me floating, and I can't take it. You got me floating, and I can take it. You got me floating, and I can't take it. I've been taking my time, I've been taking my time. Taking all of your time, taking all of your time. I've been taking my time, I've been taking my time. Taking all of your time, taking all of your
Good morning, trendies, trendsetters, and my trendy tribe. Hey, y'all. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. I peeked in. Let me see. Look at my stuff. Oh, Annette. Thank you, Annette. You got me. Thank you, Annette. Okay. Let's see here. Let me get my stuff up. If you didn't see the banner, it just said I'm going to greet my trendy tribe, and then I will get into the topic. I will leave a pinned timestamp in the comments section so you can go straight to the topics. Okay. Hey, Joy S. Pick, first in the building. Happy Kwanzaa Day 2. Hey, Red Ann, pushing through work. Got you. Hey, I said what I said. Hey, Zandra Z. Frenchie. Hi. Good morning. Trending. I hope you're enjoying the holiday season as well, Z Frenchie. Hey, my Leo sis, Shirley Terry. Hey, Deborah Jackson, Variety VYT. Variety VYT is a content creator, I'm pretty sure. So please support their channel. Hey, Deborah Jackson. Oh, I did say hey to Deborah Jackson. Hey, Sweet Rose. Hey, Miss Lady One, my Virgo sis. Hey. Hey, Cynthia Arrington. Hey, Shan, one of my legal eagles, and she's part of the Mod Squad. Hey, Jesse Bradley Lewis. Happy Hump Day. Sandra Sanderson, I see you. Hey. Mama Bees. Good morning, Mama Bees. Hey, Bama Girl. Hey, Annette GL, my sound check person for real. Happy Kwanzaa. Hey, my big sis Peaches and Cream. How you doing? Let me see. Hey, it's Tay. Good morning. Professor Purple Queen is in the building. Hey, Professor. Hey, VG. Let me see. Sherry Pittman, good morning. Hey, Titi. Let's see. I'm going down. Hey, Joyce Miles. Let's see. Going. I'm going. Let's see. We're making our way. Hey, Micah Bird. How are you doing? Okay, I see everybody saying hey, so I'm just going down. Hey, Rhonda F, good morning to you. Cricket22, hey, Cricket. Hey, just listening. Peaceful Journey is here. Hey, Peaceful Journey. And hey, Z. Z, you're at my bottom right now, so I'm going to stop at you, Z. How are you doing? Okay, y'all. So I'm officially going to have to call it. I'm not in a soft opening anymore for my store. I think we're doing good. People are getting their hoodies. I saw my good sis Taisha, you should have a tracking number. I think it's out for delivery for you. So hopefully you get it today. But yeah, I think we've made it out of soft opening into semi no plan. So I'm getting there. I gotta figure out how to ship to the UK. Shout out to Lizzie. Because I don't know how to I know it's talking about I have to register to pay the VAT, like it's a type of tax. I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm trying to figure out how to do the international thing. It's coming, but thank you so much for the support and reaching out. Pisces and Scorpios are showing out. Pisces and Scorpios, every time I get an alert right now, I feel like I'm gonna turn around, it's gonna be a Pisces. So shout out to y'all and the Scorpio. Shout out to y'all. I had a Leo sis. I saw you get your Zodiac, your Leo hoodie. I saw you. Hey, Ricky. Yes, it is on my to-do list to create zippered versions of all the hoodies. So I got to get over there and do it. But yes, the plan is to make sure there's a zippered version for sure. Hey, Live, Laugh, Love, my Leo sis in the Mod Squad, and she's a content creator. Okay. Let's see here. So, do I have anything else? Oh, this Sketchy Saturday is Taurus. I got to make up to the Taurus. You know, I got 2 mods that are Tauruses, and they like, where are our lips? I don't like the version that I have right now. I feel like I need to do better. So Sketchy Saturday plan is to redo Taurus lips. Last Sketchy Saturday was endometriosis awareness lips. During the interview with Sweet Tea, shout out to Sweet Tea from Married to Medicine, and that hoodie is available. And I will make a digital copy. I promise. I'm trying to get that so y'all can digitally download a copy if you want to have a digital one. 5 Minutes with Fit is coming back after the new year. And any content that I share, I'm using it for research, reporting, teaching, or not teaching, but commentary and critique, just so y'all know. Okay, let me share my screen. Let me get to it. So y'all saw the thumbnail, and that's what we're about to get into. I'm starting with Nesto first because his is shorter. And we'll see how far I can get with Darius is filing, because his is actually really long. So we'll see how far I can get. It's a tight hour because it's a lunch break. So I'm getting to the business. Let me see. Where's my stuff? Okay, got that. Share screen. What can I? Oh, I gotta move myself. There we go. All right. That should be good. Okay. Hey, Sylvia P. I see you in here. All right. So this is what we're looking at right now. Let me make it a little bigger. Is Nesto's motion for reduction of bond. Okay, that should be better. Okay. So it's the state of Georgia versus Ernest Williams, aka Nesto, aka Nasty Nesto, Con Nesto, Finesto, all the things. Motion for reduction of bond. It says, comes now the defendant in the above styled case by and through undersigned counsel and moves this court to grant him a reduction in bond as the court deems appropriate, and in support shows the following. So this is his attorney filing this on his behalf, just so y'all know. So the attorney is saying defendant meets the criteria for bond as set out in Ayala versus State. This is the attorney saying the defendant poses no risk to A, flee the jurisdiction or fail to appear in court, B, threaten or endanger any person or property in the community, C, commit any felony pending trial, or D, intimidate witnesses or otherwise obstruct the administration of justice. My personal opinion, I disagree. I definitely think that man is most likely a flight risk. I'm sorry. I definitely obviously think he's a threat and endangerment to certain people in the community. I think that he would do whatever he got to do. And I think he would intimidate witnesses and think it's not intimidating witnesses. That's my opinion. Okay. Let's see. Let's see here. Okay. Number 2, defendant attended his first appearance on or about January 1st, 2023, and he has been in continuous custody since that date. On that same date, defendant was denied bond. On June 26, 2023, defendant was granted an $800,000 good bond. On November 14th, 2023, defendant was granted a reduction in bond to a $700,000 good bond, which defendant cannot afford because defendant is indigent and can post nothing more than nominal bond. As of the filing of this motion, defendant has been in custody without indictment for 342 days. And I got curious, so I looked up how long in Georgia does it normally take to be indicted, because I was very curious about that. So it was a law firm's website that I got this from, but it says the indictment process begins when a person is arrested or charged for a criminal act. However, the length of time for the process to conclude can take up to 2 years for a felony charge. And they're using singular on this, a felony charge. And as we know, I believe he has 4 felony charges. I believe, because there's 2 child P and then there's 2 depicting minor type charges, which add up to 4 different counts or charges. It says it is also important to note that it could be longer depending on the severity and public exposure of the crime. So the law firm is saying it already can take up to 2 years for a felony charge, and then they said it could be longer depending on the severity and public exposure of the crime. It says the process, it says after an arrest is made, but before anyone is charged with a crime, the police can create an arrest report and forward it to the prosecutor. The report summarizes the events leading up to the arrest and the details of the arrest, including the date, time, location, witnesses, etc. Based on this report, the prosecutor can either file a complaint with the trial court setting forth the charges, go to a grand jury, present the evidence to them, and ask them what criminal charges, if any, should be brought, and how long. And then I said, how long does it take to be indicted in Georgia? Okay, I think I have a double paste in here. Hold on one second. Or they can elect not to pursue the matter. That was the other choice. So that's where we're at. So and that's just one site, one law firm site, but they said the whole process can take up to 2 years. And that was a singular felony charge. And like they said, it can take longer depending on the severity and everything. So that's just so y'all know too, because I was curious. So I figured somebody else might be curious as well. So then back to the petition, it says, wherefore defendant prays this court after a hearing grant the defendant a reasonable reduction in the $700,000 good bond amount and any other necessary and proper relief done this 20th day of December 2023. Okay. We got to move right on to Darius here. Darius. Okay, I'm going to read this text. I don't even know if I have time to really give my thoughts because there's so much in here. But let me give my beginning thoughts. I think that he is manipulative, and someone used a phrase in somebody else's chat and said that Keke could be, it's like reactionary. It's something when you're a victim of repeated ABUSC, that you become reactionary or something. And they're saying like they think he's using those times to say that she is as mutually and equally like he is. So I'm going to read this, but that's my opinion, is that for now, I do think that she's reactionary. I think that's what it is. Let's see. Darius needs to have several seats, GG. PK Joe said, I think he is also a flight risk, talking about Nesto. He knows he's caught and does not have the money for a good attorney without Shirley's money. Yeah. Hey, Patricia Dyer. Okay, so Darius filled his lawyer on his behalf, completed a response to request for domestic v. restraining order. And so the response, of course, it has his name as the person that's responding. Let me go down. So one of the first ones, he said he does not agree to the order requested on the other protected people, which would be Keke. And there is an attached declaration. That's where a lot of the words are going to come in along with his exhibits. So that's where a lot of the reading is going to take place. He does not agree with the order of abuse. He does not agree with the no contact order, the stay away order. He does not agree with any other orders. He does not agree with the child custody and visitation. He checked, I am the parent of the child. I do not agree to the orders requested. He does not agree to record communications. He does not agree. Oh, for lawyers' fees and costs, he wants Keke to pay for his lawyers' fees and costs. For the batterer intervention program, let's see how. Okay, I'm 15 minutes in. For the batterer intervention program, he does not agree to the order requested. For the Pow Pows, he says, I do not own or have any prohibited items, including Pow Pows, prohibited parts, or ammo. Number 27 says, cannot look for protected people. He does not agree that he should not be able to look for the protected person or people. Additional reasons that he does not agree with the request, he has attached the declaration, and we're going to go over that. And he signed that December 15th. Then the response to requests for child custody and visitation orders. He does not agree with no travel with children without permission. He does not agree with stopping access to children's school, health, and other information. He does not agree with requests for orders to prevent child abduction. He does not agree with the custody of the children. He said he would agree to jointly shared by he and Keke, and he would, for legal and physical custody, he would want joint. It says your visitation parenting time with children. He does not agree to the order requested. And then, okay, so now we're going to get into the declaration. Hold on. Oh, yeah. This should be right. Okay. So we're going to the declaration because, like I said, this is where a lot of the stuff is. I'm reading it. That does not mean I agree with what he's saying. I'm just reading what is in the court document so y'all know what his angle is. Okay. So it says, respondent Darius Jackson contends the petitioner, Lauren Palmer, who is Keke, has repeatedly engaged in abusive conduct and should be restrained from further acts of abuse. Based on the totality of these circumstances, the court should find that Lauren has acted as the primary aggressor throughout her relationship with Darius. The two incidents relied on by petitioner in support of her request for restraining orders, February 3rd, 2022 and November 5th, 2023, both involved respondents' efforts to escape from petitioner's out-of-control anger. So the respondent, as they keep saying that, will be Darius. Petitioner is Keke. It says, Family Code Section 6305 states that the court cannot grant a mutual restraining order unless it determines both parties acted as a primary aggressor and not in self-defense. Salmon versus Salmon explains that the dominant aggressor is the person determined to be the most significant rather than the first aggressor, and specifies various factors to consider in making such a determination, including A, the intent of the law to protect victims of domestic violence from continuing abuse, B, the threats creating fear of physical injury, C, the history of domestic violence between the persons involved, and D, whether either person involved acted in self-defense. Because y'all know I do not have a legal background, I'm reading it because these things do interest me. I am trying to figure out, is he seeking a mutual restraining order, or he wants her, I think he wants hers removed and then he wants one for himself. There are more documents. Let me know once let me know if y'all want to go beyond this to see these. I plan on looking into them, but I will look into them sooner if y'all let me know that's where you want to continue on. Okay. It says KL versus RH, in making the findings required by Section 6305, the court shall consider both the intent of the law protecting domestic violence victims and the specific circumstances of the history of domestic violence in the case before it. Specifically, the statute, I think it's statute, mandates that the court determine which of the parties is the most significant aggressor. Such a determination requires that the acts of the parties be weighed against each other. As a result, in deciding whether mutual restraining order should issue, the trial court must consider the parties' respective alleged acts of domestic violence in concert and not separately. The court in Salmon agreed that the statute required that the trial court weigh the acts of the parties, determine whether one of the parties should be considered the primary or dominant aggressor, and issue a mutual restraining order only in the event neither party can fairly be characterized as the primary aggressor. In Salmon, the appellate court reversed a mutual restraining order after determining husband was the dominant aggressor under the statute. Because he was determined to be the dominant aggressor, there was no basis to issue a mutual restraining order. So it looks like he does not want the mutual restraining order. He is trying to get a restraining order against Keke and have hers dropped against him. Okay. It says, hold on, let me make sure I'm in the right place. Okay, it says, in JJ versus MF, the court found that the girlfriend's single act of pushing the boyfriend was not substantial evidence to conclude she was a primary aggressor, particularly in light of boyfriend's history of abuse. Because of the history of abuse, the girlfriend was warranted in pushing boyfriend away when he was coming towards her and yelling at her. Additionally, the force she used was not excessive and did not result in any harm. And from my understanding, they're trying to use that case to basically say he pushed Keke out of self-defense. He is trying to claim he is not the pattern aggressor. That's how I'm interpreting this, because they would not present these cases unless it is to benefit them, because this is filed on behalf of him. So, yeah. Okay. In the present case, Lauren, who is Keke, has engaged in abusive conduct during the 2.5-year relationship, and Darius was subjected to physical and verbal abuse, including the following. This is what he's claiming. On August 20th, 2021, Lauren punched Darius in the face at a birthday party. On October 24th, 2021, Lauren violently gripped Darius's arm to prevent him from leaving her house. On November 17th, 2021, after Darius told her he would not spend the night with her, Lauren called him over 200 times and sent him over 50 emails. On January 15th, 2022, Lauren punched Darius and left marks on his body. On February 28th, 2022, Lauren attacked Darius by choking and hitting him. On March 12th, 2023, Lauren berated Darius, calling him names such as B, a punk A, and a loser. Okay. Declaration of respondent, Darius Jackson. I'm going to skip down to where he starts. Okay. On November 9th, 2023, petitioner obtained ex parte temporary domestic violence restraining orders and child custody orders. Her ex parte request included still photos of a video recording from November 5th, 2023 that are misleading. At the hearing, I will offer the video for the court's review. Based on the history described below, I contend that petitioner, which would be Keke, was the primary aggressor, and I am seeking stay away and no contact orders. I am requesting that the court deny petitioner's request for domestic violence restraining order. Incidents of domestic violence. This is his account. During our relationship, petitioner was verbally and physically abusive. She frequently became agitated and aggressive after consuming alcohol. On August 20th, 2021, after she had been drinking, petitioner punched me in the face at a birthday party. Her friend Lenoria was present and tried to stop petitioner. Later, petitioner apologized. Copies of her text messages to me are attached here too as Exhibit 1 and include an apology. I am sorry for hitting you. So we actually are gonna go to the exhibit. So 1 second. Okay, let's see here. So Exhibit 1, I gotta read this to y'all because it's so small. Okay, so basically, okay, it says to Keke, and I think, okay, the blue should be him. I think the gray is Keke. So it says, all to myself, I did this. This is supposedly Keke talking right now. I am so unhappy with myself and going backwards by not being better, stronger, and smarter. I'm really going to have to pray on this because I'm just so sad and triggered to that deeply lonely and isolated place in myself where I tell myself no one in this world understands or loves me. I feel I am not capable of pure and good love, and these are the energies I am now feeling and questioning and doubting. I'm just so sad. I feel so lost, and it hurts so bad because I thought I was so clear on so many things. I'm ashamed of how I behaved, and I'm sorry that I was not who you needed me to be. I'm really sorry because I try so hard. You have no idea. I wish you could see into my heart and my mind, but I know only God can, and that's okay. That's why I love God, because I know that's the one that's that knows me the most and knows both of us the most. I just pray that I can have peace on the situation. I just get so sensitive and become so shell-shocked on the inside. I know when I love hard, and that's why I didn't want to be in anything. Then I fell for you and fell harder than before, and I'm scared I'm going to just spiral and spiral and spiral again. I feel so stupid. I gave you so much control over my emotions, and this saddens me. I lost myself in trying so hard to keep you and hold on to the space that I felt we shared. In that moment in the alley when you were walking away from me, I was just so soul crushed. The feeling that I felt, I can't explain, and I'm still sitting in this very moment. I don't know why it was just so hard for me to understand you walking away. All I saw was every deep moment we have ever had, and how I couldn't understand you turning your back on me. I had no space for your humanity, and I immediately tried to possess you, but you are not mine, you are God's. And if you didn't want to share yourself with me anymore, I should have respected that, and I'm sorry I didn't. You are not an object, and I cannot be so unhealthily attached to you. I'm sorry for hitting you. I'm sorry for being afraid to lose you and that turning into me acting out of fear and desperation. That was not the best me that you received, and I'm sorry for that. I am mad at the situation. I'm mad at myself. I'm deeply affected and afraid because it's such a deep heaviness that I don't want to feel anymore. It's not your fault nor job to alleviate it from me. I honestly need to pray on it. I just hate how exposed I can feel. I'm just sad and sorry to be texting so much. That's what I truly hate when things like this go down. I got to be here at work. I have no time today to just sleep and heal. I was up all night. I forgot all my S at home. I'm in every single scene, yet I did this all to myself. I'm sorry my text coming out of order. Darius replied, have the night to yourself, Keke, only you. When you wake up tomorrow, let me know what you want to do. I don't want to lose you, but I also don't want to lose myself, which is why I try and hold myself in those situations. And it's cut off to more that he may have said. Let me see if it. Okay, yeah, that's it for the first one. All right. Now we're going on to the next date, October 24th, 2021. Petitioner and I tried to stream a football game at her house, but had some technical difficulties. After missing the first quarter, I went to a nearby restaurant to watch the game. Before I left, Petitioner insisted that I stay with her and violently gripped my arm to prevent me from leaving. We exchanged a text about this incident, and I sent her a photo of the marks she left on my arm that night. A copy of my text is attached here too as exhibit number 2. Yes, he definitely, like, where are the rest of his bubbles? Okay. So now we're going to exhibit 2 where they're talking about the night where they tried to stream the game. He's saying this is Keke again. She's saying, we're done. You acted so childish about this instead of actually making sure we got the effing game. Instead of making sure we got the game so we could stream, you sat here pouring, or maybe pouting. It's probably pouting. Then he has this picture of his arm, and she said, you're waiting for me to fail. He says, you will never put your hands on me again. I think he's meaning ever. And she said, I definitely won't. I'm really good on all of that. He said, whether you leave me or not, but I'm good on you putting hands on me. I really am. She supposedly is saying, so definitely no beef at all. I don't want no drama and no problems. He's saying you not owning up to it and see it as a threat is alarming. She says, I own up to squeezing your arm. He says, I show you that to let you know that you're literally marking me. He said, like, I wouldn't do that to you. I'm content. She said, but it's clear you're trying to create a paper trail. You are literally trying to set me up. He says, I put all my heart into this. She says, through text and your family and everything else. I think she was still continuing when she said, you are literally trying to set me up through text and your family and everything else. Then he said, so I'm good. That will be my reminder to stay away. She said, like I said, a setup. And he said, get over your ego. It does nothing for me to do all that. Okay, so we're going to go back. So then on November 17th, 2021, he's saying, after I told Petitioner I was not spending the night with her, she called me over 200 times and sent me over 50 emails. Copies of the emails are attached as exhibit 3. Okay, and this one, I think you just scroll, but this is him saying it's from Keke, and you see it's the same thing over and over on November 17th. And I'm just scrolling so y'all can see it because there's nothing really to necessarily read. Right. Chrissy said, not him saying he would never do that to her, and we have footage of him yoking her up and dragging her over the couch. Yeah, this is only a motion. They're trying to file a motion. And in fact, actually there are some orders and stuff out there. It's gone beyond this part, but right now I'm reading the motion that was filed on December 15th. Stuff has happened since then. So I actually didn't see the order myself to see what did the judge order so far. He's definitely trying to set her up and gaslight her. Yes, I know they're gonna be mad at me. Somebody's gonna be mad at me, but yes, I also agree that he's doing this in his way. Like, he got her riled up. There was nothing being recorded when he actually got her riled up or whatever happened. But then after the fact, I feel like you're trying to, do this paper trail of just make her look like she's the unreasonable one or the one that's doing all this. Okay, the next one. In January 2022, during an argument, petitioner punched the windshield of my car while I was driving. Petitioner later confirmed that she paid for the replacement. A copy of her email is attached in Exhibit 4. Oh, well, he has a lawyer, Gigi, so I'm sure the attorney's helping him write it too. Yeah, because this is filed by his attorney. Yeah, she caught on, but apparently, unfortunately, she was caught up in a cycle too. Because although she caught on, I think they were still, because that was 2022 and 2023. They still had some things going on. Shan said, "I'm sure a judge saw right through this. He's trying to take her son and then make her pay child support." Okay, so we're going to Exhibit 4. Exhibit 4. I'm not sure why it's titled this. Maybe he titled it later this way. I don't know, but it says "My Unloaded Weapon" is what it's titled. And then it says, this is from Keke, I believe. It says, "Hey, I left the pow pow on the porch underneath this package, so it is hidden. My mom called your mom to look out for my passport because it's not in the bag, but maybe it's in your backpack. Either way, just let me know if you can't find it because I'll have to get another one as I need to go out of the country soon. So please, I will really need that back from you. Also, I don't want my mom to be in the middle because she's too old for that. LOL. So if you need to contact me about the windshield, I will reply on email and handle. I think after that is fixed, all will be handled." From me, I don't see her taking responsibility for the windshield except for financial responsibility, but I don't see her saying, "I'm sorry I broke your windshield." You know what I mean? Especially because she has apologized before. And then he's showing that $600 was sent. It says from Kiana. $600 was sent for the windshield on April 13th, 2022, which he's saying this happened back in January 2022 when supposedly she punched the windshield, and he was sent money April 13th, 2022. That's what he's showing. Then SafeLight receipt April 14th, 2022 for auto glass. And it's saying, "Dear Darius Jackson, attached you will find your final receipt for the below order. Thank you for trusting SafeLight with your vehicle glass repair and replacement needs." So that's the windshield one. Okay. Shan said, "Right, it's too broad. Doesn't mean she broke it. Just means you are broke." I see you, Shan. MJ says, "I think they were in a toxic relationship doing things to each other." I do think they were in a toxic relationship. I do. Okay, now we're on to January 15th, 2022. He is saying, "Petitioner and I were in Cancun for my birthday. I could not find my phone at our hotel." Oh, and I want to point out before we go on, holding someone's passport is illegal. And she's saying, "I really need my passport." And I feel in my heart of hearts he knew where her passport was. So I just want to point out too that she was asking for her passport. Okay. On January 15th, 2022, petitioner and I were in Cancun for my birthday. I could not find my phone at our hotel. Petitioner had been drinking and was upset that looking for my phone would make us late for dinner. At the restaurant, she began to cuss me out. I left the restaurant and went back to the hotel. After I found the phone, I assumed that petitioner had calmed down and returned to the restaurant. Petitioner was on her phone with her mother and was still upset. She continued to berate me as we returned to the hotel. I tried to leave to give her space to calm down, but she grabbed my arm to prevent me from leaving. Petitioner then started punching and hitting me, causing me to drop my phone. She grabbed the phone and kept it from me. I eventually locked myself in the bathroom to avoid any further verbal and physical attacks. Petitioner's attack that night left several bruises and marks on my body. The photos are attached in Exhibit 5, accurately depict the bruises on my body. Okay, so we're going to Exhibit 5. Okay, it says, Keke, I think this is Keke to him. No, it's his mom. I think this is his mom to Darius. I think she's saying, make sure that your dad gets all of your stuff. I'm glad that you are out of it and don't look back. The mom is then saying, if she tries to get you in trouble, you got those pictures. You got these pictures to prove your innocence. Take all the pictures because she is the celebrity. And he's saying, I know, making sure I have some saved. Also, people already know she's abusive. That's what he's telling his mom. Okay. On February 28, 2022, petitioner physically attacked me by choking and hitting me. This incident occurred in the interior of her home in the same location depicted in the stills of the footage from November 5th, 2023. Again, petitioner had been drinking alcohol that night. On March 7th, 2022, after petitioner sent me numerous emails, I changed my number to avoid further harassment and threats. On March 12th, 2023, the shower was not draining and water was overflowing onto the bathroom and adjoining bedroom floor. Petitioner had been drinking and blamed me for the problem and called me a B, a punk A, and a loser. I tried to de-escalate the situation and she became more enraged. I left the house to avoid further conflict. That night, she sent me several emails, copies of which are attached here too as Exhibit 6. So this is allegedly from Keke, and it says, I will never forgive you for walking out on Leo and I, your first child and girlfriend, 14 days postpartum. Horrible. Let me see. And then she says, I thought I knew you, but now I realize I just made you out to be someone in my mind that you aren't. You have always walked out on me. You have always disrespected me and my privacy. You have always shown me who you are. This time I'm going to believe you instead of creating a better image for you in my mind. I really believed in you, Darius, and it hurts so bad to know that I can't anymore. To believe in you at this point is stupid and puts me and Leo at risk because you won't ever do what it takes to keep this family together. You are just like your father, and all that matters to you is your selfish pride. I never asked for much. I only ever asked you to be there for us. The next one says, you aren't ready. This is still allegedly from Keke to Darius. You aren't ready, and that's fine. My parents saw you for who you are, and now I do too. I'm hurt, but I'm not hurt enough to allow you to lie on me and film me and make me out to be a monster. I have never, ever filmed you or done anything to hurt you or damage your character. You have shown me and my family that you are no different from your sister, willing to play victim and damage my character and take advantage of the fact that we have a son. Go back to your family who hates you and who hates me. I'm tired of you filming me, trying to plan a lawsuit and scam your way into money. I no longer trust you and all the hustling and scamming that you and your family do. At the end of the day, I haven't tried to harm you. I can't apologize for arguing. You locking yourself in a room when we have a newborn is insane. So that's Keke, allegedly Keke. The next one says, petitioner's allegations. On February 13th, 2022, petitioner was angry because of my reaction to a photo she showed me. I tried to ignore her and avoid conflict while I was driving us home. Petitioner started to toggle with the shift gear. I put the car in park in the middle of the street in Hollywood to avoid an accident. When we got to petitioner's house, she continued to berate me, and I was very concerned that she would attack me again. I tried to gather my belongings and go to my mother's house for the night. Petitioner became furious, grabbing my arm to prevent me from leaving. I backed away from her and tried to leave the room, but she grabbed me again, ripping my shirt off. I went downstairs to create some space between us, but petitioner followed me, continued to grab me. When we were near the stairs, she tripped over herself, pulling me down on the steps. So he's saying she tripped. I had to pull myself away to go back upstairs and get my car keys. When I got back into the bedroom, petitioner jumped on me, preventing me from getting my keys. I removed myself from her grip and went back downstairs. I opened the door and petitioner came running down the stairs towards me, and in self-defense, I tried to restrain her. I'm just reading what is being written in the documents in case you've come in later. On April 21st, 2022, Petitioner and I were in Santa Barbara and went to a local bar after dinner. Petitioner was intoxicated. We got into an argument and she left the bar. I followed her and we got back into my car. I apologized for arguing and asked her to exit my car because I wanted to return home to Los Angeles. Petitioner refused to get out and kept on arguing. I took her bag out of my car, placed it outside, and threw her keys across the parking lot to get her out of my car and drove home. On September 26, 2023, Petitioner and I had been arguing about our relationship. Leotis was crying while I was changing his diaper. Petitioner was bothered and wanted to pick him up. I asked her to wait until I was finished, but she ignored me. She aggressively pulled Leotis away during the diaper change. At that point, I packed my bags to go to another hotel. Petitioner and I began dating in July 2021 and broke up several times briefly before reconciling. The final breakup occurred in early October 2023. In mid-October 2023, Petitioner and I discussed that I would pick up Leotis on Sunday mornings to watch football at my brother's house, along with my father and other family and friends. Petitioner had previously joined us on a few occasions for football Sundays with my family and had no issue with my having Leotis on Sundays. I texted Petitioner on the morning of November 5th, 2023, confirming that I was going to pick up Leotis. She did not respond to the text. After Petitioner and I ended our relationship on... Oh, let me make sure I'm on the right spot. Sorry, y'all. Okay, yes. After Petitioner and I ended our relationship on several occasions without objection using an access code, I entered Petitioner's home to pick up Leotis. On November 5th, 2023, I entered Petitioner's residence to pick up Leotis. He was not there when I arrived. I went upstairs to ask Petitioner where he was. She was on the phone with her mother on speaker and refused to answer where Leotis was. Her mother immediately directed threats and profanities at me. I recorded the conversation because I could sense that Petitioner was becoming verbally and physically abusive. A copy of the transcript is attached as Exhibit 7. Now, we're going to look at it at Exhibit 7, but I know they labeled it as a transcript, but y'all will see it. You'll see the visual for it. But because you've heard the recording, y'all will know that we did hear the audio of what Keke's mom said. We heard Keke, and of course we heard him. All of it, to me, I feel like all of a sudden he gave short answers. I don't feel like that's how he was speaking before he started recording. That's my own personal opinion. That's just my opinion. I'm not the judge, but that's just for me. What it seemed like. But okay, so this is probably gonna take us to the end of the lunch break live, just going over the transcript. So we'll have to pick up the rest most likely later, depending on how fast I'm reading and everything. But so Sharon is Keke's mom. So we got Sharon, Darius, and Keke throughout the transcript. Okay. So Sharon says, get that fast enough. Darius said, yeah. Sharon says, ninja, you done brought out the B in me. Darius says, bro, I've seen this like 20 different times, Sharon. It doesn't faze me anymore. None of what y'all do faze me anymore. Come on now, where's my son at? And it says, in parentheses, Sharon yelling in background during this. Sharon is, and this is all alleged. Y'all have heard the recording, so if you haven't, they're out there. But it says, Sharon says, arrest your BA mom. Oh, and let me warn you, in case you never heard the recordings, there is offensive stuff in here to groups of people that don't have anything to do with this, but it was supposed to be, it wasn't supposed to be out for everybody to hear. I do believe she was speaking out of anger, but I will tell you, to me, I understand that there is offensive language and preconceived notions in here. I just want to acknowledge that. So Darius said, where's my son at? Sharon says, immigrant B. Darius says, okay. Sharon says, that's what I'm about to do. Darius says, okay. Sharon says, yeah, okay. You are a D-list MFer. Darius says, I'm sure. Sharon says, I don't know what the F my daughter done saw in your limp D ass, but I'm about to fix it. I'm about to fix it. Darius says, that's what you raised. That's what you raised. And it says Sharon is yelling during this. Sharon says, you are scared, and that's what your mama raised you. D sucker. Your brother's a D sucker too. Darius says, I'm sure. Sharon says, both of y'all are D suckers. Darius says, I'm sure. Sharon says, you probably suck D's too. Darius says, okay. Sharon says, D sucker. Darius says, yep. Sharon says, you a D sucking MFer. Darius says, all right, so about a bullet. So basically, I'm sure she mentioned that before. And now that he's recording, he's trying to get her to mention something about a bullet again. Sharon says, if you keep effing around, I might get somebody to F you. Darius says, all right, so what about the bullet again? Sharon says, you keep effing with me, you might get a D in your A. Darius says, okay. Sharon says, keep effing with me. Darius says, okay. Sharon says, you MFers don't know who you're dealing with. Darius says, all right, y'all have no idea who you stepped up to play with, but it's all good. Sharon says, I tried to be nice to you. Darius says, yeah. Sharon says, I tried to be nice to you because I thought you had some mental problems. Darius says, nope. Sharon says, so I tried to be nice, but you're going to talk about my daughter. You're going to harass my daughter. You're going to talk about Usher. This is where y'all heard the stuff, but I'm just reading what she wrote. She said, Usher is gay. You and your stupid A family all don't even understand the business. Usher is gay, guys. Darius says, tell her to put some clothes on. Sharon says, Usher is gay. Darius says, tell her to put some clothes on again. He says it again. Sharon says, it's Usher, you stupid MFer. Darius says, tell her to put some clothes on. So he's repeating himself. Sharon says, you are stupid. Darius says, tell her to put some clothes on. Sharon says, you are a stupid man. Darius says, she's a mom. She has to put some clothes on. She's a mom. She has to put some clothes on. And it says Sharon is yelling during this. Sharon says, his family are crazy, chaotic. Darius says, yeah. Sharon says, harassing. Darius says, okay. And Sharon says, people. So basically, it was a complete sentence. Like, she's saying his family are crazy, chaotic, harassing people. That's the full sentence. And Darius says, so where did my son go? Sharon says, harassing my family. They are harassing my daughter. Darius says, where's my son at? Keke says, even Marcus Johnson, the ninja today your brother named after, his kids told me y'all are crazy. He was the one in the video. They told me that you and your brother was crazy because your brother's named after their dad, and they said y'all are nuts. And it says Sharon's in the background yelling. Darius says, I'm sure. Sharon says, you got to go. Can he still hear me? Keke said, oh, yeah, he can hear you. Darius says, I'm just waiting for my son. Where's my son at? It's football Sunday. He needs to be with his family. Sharon says, F you, ninja. You ain't got a family. Your BA family. Your D sucking brother, sister that you chose. Your immigrant BA mama, ninja, please. Darius says they have nothing to do with this. They have nothing to do with this. He says it a lot. Then he's saying that Sharon is yelling about Jerry Springer during this. And Sharon said, yeah, they do. Darius says, no, they don't. Sharon says, your BA mama dude, she effed up. She's the one who got you thinking you could go around and harass women because your daddy harassed her. Darius says, okay. Sharon says, your grandmama told me his mama's crazy. We've never been able to do anything with her. I don't know why my son stayed with her, but yeah, she's crazy. And if Darius is listening to her, he should be ashamed of himself. She said, that's what your damn grandmama told me. Keke said, that's what his dad said. Sharon says, your grandmama told me your mama was crazy and that if you wanted to listen to your mama, Keke says, she's schizophrenic and so is he. You both need medicine. Sharon says, your grandmama said, if you wanted to keep listening to your mama, that Keke needed to let you go because Keke is a brilliant person and Darius should be lucky to have her. So if you think she's a CUNT, you think she's a whore, then why don't you take your limp D and find the woman that you want to find? Why are you over my daughter's house? Why are you always around her? Darius says, my son. Keke says, why did you harass me? And Darius says, but for my son. Keke said, but you don't have to harass me. Darius says, my son. Keke says, but you don't have to harass me. Darius says, where's my son? I'm not going to even say what Sharon said on that one. Keke said, you need to stop harassing me. Darius says, where's my son? Is all I'm just asking for. I'm not here for her. Sharon said, get out of her house. All you do is put her down. Darius says, that you put her through. Sharon says, what the F is you saying? Ignorant. Darius says, that you put her through. Sharon says, can you speak English? That's part of the reason why you can't get no acting job. Darius says, I'm sure. Sharon says, your articulation is poor. Darius says, I'm sure. Sharon says, what the F are you thinking? Darius says, I'm sure if only you actually, and then it says Sharon's yelling. Sharon says, put her through. What does that mean? Can you put it through? Keke says he's trying to do the whole child actor parents sacrifice their childhood gag. Sharon says, oh, well, okay, well, we got it. We got $30 million for that. So, and Darius says, because look at her. And then he says, look at her. That's fine. Sharon said, yeah, I sacrificed her, I guess. Darius says, okay. Sharon says, if that's what you want to say, but what did your mama do for you? Darius says, huh? And Sharon says, she effed you up. Darius said, my mom is fine. Sharon says, you should have been a child entertainer. You should have been one. Maybe you would have more gumption. Maybe you would have more get to do it because your mama effed you up. She turned you into a punk A mama's boy who harasses a woman. What kind of BS is that? Your mama should be ashamed of herself. She should be telling you, why are you harassing this girl? Why are you doing this? Darius says, she's the one who kept wanting to come back around. Trust me, I didn't want this. Keke says, but that makes no sense why you harass. There's no need to say horrible things. There's no reason for that. You do that because you're nuts. There's no reason for you to say that. It says Sharon is screaming that Usher is gay during this. Then it goes back to Keke saying, basically, I guess he called her Jezebel. She said, calling me Haiti. That's all unnecessary. You do all of that unnecessarily because something's wrong with your mind. It's not normal. You sound like you have a broken brain and you need to go see somebody because you're chemically imbalanced. There's nothing that I've done for you to stay on that page. People have endured more. I've endured more from you, and I don't do that to you. I don't sit up there and call y'all all kinds of names and do stuff like that. You randomly have an episode and then you harass me for an hour straight. That's what you do. Sharon says, now I'm going to harass you. Keke says, it's not normal. It's not necessary. You could just not talk to me. Sharon says, I'm going to harass you. Usher's bisexual. He sleeps with men, you stupid MFer. You the stupidest MFer on earth. Keke says, you should know you spend more time with Julian. Sharon said, Usher, you a dumb MFer, and then you let your family, you let your brother talk you into, hey man, look, your brother's PUSSY too. His reputation in Hollywood is he's a F-boy and he's an asshole and nobody really likes him. Lauren London don't like his A, so at the end of the day, you the Jacksons are effing jokes. You guys are effing jokes. That's what you are. You're effing jokes, so don't blame Keke for being a joke. You was a joke before you met her, so don't blame her. Don't call her a CUNT. And what man thinks that he's going to call the mother of his child a CUNT, a B, a whore? You've been run through, and I'm going to come and get the baby. What kind of mental MFer are you? So, okay, so obviously he was calling her those names right before he came to get their son this time around, because that was, of course, obviously around the Usher footage that we saw. And she's saying, nobody's done that, Darius. Nobody's done that. What woman wants their child to go be with a man who calls them a CUNT and B's? That's the stupidest thing. If my daughter ever gives you the baby after you call her a CUNT, I'm going to beat her ass. I'm going to beat her ass. And you know what? That's a black mom right there. She said, and you know what? But I'm saying that's a black mom. Darius says the baby's going to be back in my arms. The inevitable is going to happen. He's going to grow up to be a man, a real man, and he's going to go ahead and just come on over. Sharon said he's not going to learn how to be a man from you. Darius said, I'm his dad. I'm his dad. I'm his dad. I don't care about what y'all think. I don't care what you think, especially Keke. I don't care about what anybody else thinks. Sharon, your opinion is very little to me. You're wasting your breath right now, Sharon. You're wasting your breath right now. You're wasting your breath right now. Trust me. Okay. Well, we still have 10 minutes to go. So, all right. It says, Petitioner and I went downstairs while her mother continued her verbal abuse on speaker. I asked about Leotis's whereabouts and Petitioner refused to answer. I attempted to take the phone from Petitioner to avoid her mother's harassment. After I reached for her phone, Petitioner resisted and fell back on the couch. So that's what he's saying is happening in those still pictures that we saw, but there's actual video that the judge will get. It says, I took the phone, went outside and threw it in the bushes. I went to my car to leave and avoid further conflict, but Petitioner ran outside and placed trash cans in the middle of the street to prevent me from leaving. Laurencia, Petitioner's little sister, came outside and asked me to retrieve Petitioner's phone from the bushes. After I retrieved the phone, the police arrived and interviewed Petitioner, Laurencia, and me. For custody, it says, our son was born in Greenwich, Connecticut. Petitioner and I stayed on the East Coast for several months after he was born. Petitioner went back to work a few weeks after he was born and asked me to travel with her to care for him, which I happily did. Leotis and I spent weeks in Brooklyn together, visiting the aquarium and various other tourist attractions. I was not accompanied by a nanny. I have often cared for Leotis for extended periods. He and I have had a very close relationship. Since obtaining temporary restraining orders in this case, Petitioner has refused to allow me any access to Leotis, and she rejected my proposal for access in the presence of a monitor. At petitioner's request, I accompanied her and Leotis on tour in September and October 2023 so that I could care for him until November 5th, 2023. Petitioner facilitated my relationship with Leotis. On Father's Day 2023, she posted on Instagram about what a great father I was. A copy of the post is attached here too as Exhibit 8. She also sent me numerous messages expressing her feelings about what a great father I am. These messages are attached here too as Exhibit 9. So we're going to go to 8 and 9. Okay, so there's Exhibit 8, and Keke posted, "Happy Father's Day to the best dad ever. Don't tell my dad I said that. Congrats, Mr. Man. Leotis and I are so very happy to have such a fun, kind, responsible, dependable, and supportive man like you in our lives. It's so wonderful to see the kind of loving father you are, but I'm not surprised. You wanted to be a dad, and maybe more than I wanted to be a mother, and that's saying a lot because I've always wanted to be a mother. I love this for us, but I really love it for Leo. God bless you, darling. Thank you for being in our lives. We love you." Okay. And then Exhibit 9. Okay. Okay, so I think Keke is the gray bubbles again. So it says, "OMG, thank you for sending me this." And it's cut off, but I'm sure it's a picture of him holding the baby or just a picture of the baby. But it says, "My heart, best memories ever." And then he tells her, "Happy 8 months. You're doing great." She says, "So are you, Big Papa. You are such a good daddy. That's why Leo gets so happy." Then there's another picture of Keke. And then she said, "I look so tired. OMG, best times. Can't wait till the next little person." And she said, "This has me cackling, OMG." Then it's a picture of Darius, and she says, "Look how happy he is." He says, "Freaking miss you so much, OMG." And she says, "Yeah, it's bad. I'm almost sad. Your absence in my life is missed. You're such a good dad." Then he says, "We really do have a good bond, babe. I'm almost glad to get this reminder. Not happy about it, but man, it really hit deep for me on how much you mean to me. I'm a good dad because you're a good mom, if that makes sense." And she said, "We have to always remember." Okay. Let's see here. All right. We have 6 more minutes. It says, "I'm requesting the court order joint legal and physical custody. Petitioner has refused to allow me to see Leotis since obtaining temporary restraining orders. My offer to have visitation monitored was rejected, and petitioner has unilaterally eliminated any and all access. I am currently living with my mother in Eastvale. I intend to reside with family for the foreseeable future. I am an actor and writer. My employment opportunities have been greatly impacted by petitioner's social media allegations. Petitioner has used social media extensively since obtaining a restraining order. She has parodied the grotesque things her mother said to me during the call on November 5th, 2023, and has presented a false narrative about our relationship on her podcast. For Leotis' sake, I have not reciprocated with a similar social media campaign. On December 1st, 2023, the Shade Room posted an extremely detailed update divulging petitioner's intentions, her feelings, and dates of hearings. A copy of the post is attached here too as Exhibit 10. I declare under penalty of perjury of the laws of the state of California that the foregoing is true and correct. And this was executed December 15th, 2023. So we're going to go to Exhibit 10. Okay, so this is the Shade Room's post. So this is the Shade Room. So first of all, I don't see how he can blame Keke Palmer for the Shade Room post. She filed accordingly in the court, but yeah. So it says, so the Shade Room posted, "The restraining order that Keke was granted in November remains in full force and effect and will not be dropped. Keke will continue to protect her safety and the safety of Leo above all else. Keke has pressed charges. The police report has been filed. The criminal investigation by the police is continuing. The hearing is still on the calendar as planned. Darius's lawyer is not available on December 5th, so the calendar date will move to January. Keke is concerned about her privacy, Leo's privacy, and the privacy of her family, so her preference is to resolve the situation privately rather than in open court if possible. But if not possible, the hearing remains on the calendar, and Keke will stop at nothing to ensure a safe and healthy outcome for herself and Leo." It says a source close to Keke Palmer is shutting down claims that Keke is dropping the restraining order. What is for you? What are you trying to type? You're typing like one word per time you enter. Who is for you? What are you typing? Type one message. The judge needs to slap him with his paperwork and tell him get the hell on. That reminder, those memory reminders, that's the same thing that Martell does or did. You know, he's the past destined trips and all that stuff. So yeah, and I know some people are not gonna see it the way I see it. I've seen them out there. I have definitely seen them out there. This is my own personal opinion. The judge has the say so, not me. So I'm just giving my opinion. Okay. Child, Sylvia, I was like, you saying you impacted as an actor or writer? I didn't even know he acted or wrote. I did not know this. Okay, but that is, I think that's the end. Let me double check, but I think that's the end of everything. Let me see. Yeah, that's the end of it. So we actually made it within the tight hour. So there is more that has been filed after that, just so y'all know. So we'll review it. And like I've told y'all, I'm not necessarily trying to be, oh wait, I'm in the wrong document. Hold on. Sorry. Yeah, it goes into the exhibits. Okay. I will try to review it as I can. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry. Okay. All right, y'all. So tight lunch hour. I have to go. Appreciate y'all for sitting and listening to me. Shout out to the replay gang when y'all come back and listen. Yeah, this is, I know everybody gonna have their opinion. I'm just gonna go ahead and just stay in my lane. Yeah. All right, y'all. See y'all tomorrow. If I don't see you later on this evening, have a good day. All right, bye.
I've been taking my time, taking all of your time, I've been taking my time, taking all of your time, We've been talking about it for a while. Before we take a chance and do it, before we looking back as foolish. Talk about it for a while. Before we take a chance and do it, before we